السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد سيد المرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحجة رب العالمين، المنتجب في الميثاق المصطفى في الضلال المطهر من كل آفة، البرية من كل عيب، المؤمل للنجاة، المرتجى للشفاعة، المفوض إليه دين الله. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال سيد الكونين الحبيب المصطفى محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام: أفضل أعمال أمتي انتظار الفرج. For the hasty appearance of Imam صاحب العصر والزمان، أرواحنا وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء، loud صلوات. For your well-being and the well-being of your family and your loved ones at the zawar of Ahlul Bayt عليهم أفضل الصلاة والسلام, another louder salawat. Allah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you look at the life of our infallible Imams, examine the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhim afdalus salati wassalam from Amir al-Mu'mineen onward, you find that every one of the Imams played a different role than the other. They found the people of the time need a certain movement, a certain way of life, a certain direction. They're not all the same. They played it differently because that time what had to be done was different than the time of the other Imam. Alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For example, when it comes to Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, the commander of the faithful, you find that Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali, played a different role than Imam al-Hasan al-Mushtaba. Imam Hasan al-Mushtaba, he signed a peace treaty with Muawiyah, and Imam al-Hasan al-Mushtaba's way of thinking that this time, this is the best action. It doesn't mean that they have a certain way that is different than the other, but they find the best way of this movement, the action is different than the other. Imam Hasan al-Mushtaba, peace treaty with Muawiyah, was way different than Imam Hussein's revolution with Yazid ibn Muawiyah. Imam Hussein started a revolution with Yazid, fighting Yazid, revolted Abu Abdullah al-Hussein against Yazid ibn Muawiyah, and that was the cause for his martyrdom and the martyrdom of his family and his loved ones and his companions. Does it mean that he did differently and he was wrong than the Imam Hassan? Differently, of course, absolutely not. Imam Hassan, why he did the peace treaty was that he wanted to expose Muawiyah. Imam Hussein, he fought Yazid ibn Muawiyah, as he said, لكي آمر بالمعروف وأنهى عن المنكر. When it comes to the other Imams, we quickly go one to one. Imam al-Hussein, alaykum as-salam, was different than Imam Ali ibn al-Hussein. Imam al-Sajjad, Zayn al-Abidin, was different. The people of Kufa told Imam al-Sajjad, after the Imam came in with the caravan, the Sabaya, you just tell us, if you want again to revolt, we will here be ready for you. Imam said to them, Hayhat, yesterday you said the same thing to my father, and my father's blood is not even dry yet, and now you're telling me the same thing? Hayhat, no, this is not going to happen. The way Imam Zayn al-Abidin was different than Imam al-Hussein. The revolution of Imam al-Hussein was one and only one. Others, they didn't do the revolutions. Sahifa al-Sajjadiyya was the best thing the Imam did at that time. Risalat al-Huquq, the Charter of Rights, was the best thing he did at that time. That was the best the Imam came with at that time. He left a legacy. And the crying for Imam al-Hussein, his father, alayhi afdalus salatu wassalam. Imam al-Baqir, Imam al-Sadiq, spreading the knowledge of Ahl al-Bayt. Now there's two fighting each other, Bani Umayyad, the Umayyads and the Abbasides. What do I do now? Do I go and fight? I enter this revolution of theirs. Bani Abbas is fighting Bani Umayyah. Bani Abbas is coming and saying, Al-Ridha min Ali Muhammad, Hayhat, min al-Dhillah, same thing that Imam Hussein said, because we find that now is a time that everyone is sympathizing with Imam al-Hussein. So how do I gain the people? I say, Ya latharat al-Hussein. Abu Muslim al-Khurasani came to the Imams and he asked them, he said, come aboard. The Imams, they refused. Imam al-Baqir and Imam al-Sadiq, they refused to be part of this because they saw this is not the time. This is not the time. So what they did was spread the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt. That's why if we go to the books of Ahadith, قال الباقر, قال الصادق, قال الصادق, قال الباقر. And the movement continued, one different than the other. When it came to Imam Hasan Al-Askari, alayhi afdalus salati wassalam, you find it to be different. Why? Now the Imam is preparing the Shia for the time of occultation. And that is very hard to do. Time of occultation, the time that we live it right now. How many people have gone astray? How many? A friend of mine was telling me, no, they're not becoming, Sunnah. They're not going to another school of thought. They're becoming atheists. Shia families. Shia families. This is a hard time. That's why the Prophet said, أفضل أعمال أمتي انتظار الفرج. That time, that is the time of occultation for someone to hold on to his religion. It's very hard. The hadith says in Kitab al-Kashkul and other books, Yawm al-Khalas and Asr al-Dhuhur for Sheikh al-Qurani, Yawm al-Khalas for Kamil Sulaiman, they talk about the time of the occultation before the Imam appears, Imam Sahib al-Asr wa Zaman. It says that he leaves the house, an individual, مؤمنا بالله يخرج من بيته مؤمنا بالله ويرجع إلى بيته كافرا. He leaves the house faithful, believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a mu'min, a believer. He comes back to his house kafir. And the other signs of the occultation and the time that when the Imam comes, ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس. Fasad takes over. So what does the Imam do, Imam Hasan al-Askari? The Imam lives in the time of the Abbasides. Bani Abbas, when he came to the time of Imam Hasan al-Askari, their held on power became very weak. They were not powerful like before, like in the time of Ma'mun or Harun al-Abbasi. In the time of Harun al-Abbasi, as they called him Harun al-Rashid, they were very strong. They were very, very powerful. That was in the peak of their power. And then it came to Ma'mun, very powerful. But when he came close to Imam al-Hadi and Imam Hasan al-Askari, who were ruling the Islamic empire, not Bani Abbas, Abbasides, they had nothing to do with the empire. They had nothing to do with it, even though they were the caliphs, the khalifas. But you find the Turks, they are the ones that are ruling the Islamic empire. They take one Khalifa out and they appoint another Khalifa in. In that time period of 12 years, 7 of the Abbasides, Khulafa, were changed. Very weak. And whenever you see a government declining, comes down and they become very weak, their violent behavior and their aggressive behavior toward the appointed people like Imam Hasan al-Askari, the grip and the surveillance toughens. So Imam Hasan al-Askari inherits this. He comes into the imamah, and he's taken to a city that you all know it as Samarra. Some call it Surra Marra'ah. Others, they changed it. They called it Sa'amarra'ah. Why? Because Samarra was founded to be an army base. Army base. The Turks, they used to enter Baghdad with a huge army, enter Baghdad, and the people die under the stampede of the Turks. The people came to the Khalifa at the time, and they said to him, you ask these people to go outside of Baghdad because our children, our old people are dying under the stampede of theirs. So what does he say? He said to them, you and which army will do me, ask me to do such a thing? How are you going to force me to do such a thing? You, which army? They said to him, Ad-du'a bis-sahar, we will ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove you from your kingdom. You will no longer be a Khalifa. So what he decided was, I take the army, the Turks, outside of Baghdad to a newly built city that is Samarra. Sa'amarra'ah, Surramarra'ah. Both things. Some say because Sa'amarra'ah, because of the army base. Surramarra'ah, because of the rivers and the gardens and the beautiful landscape that was around the city. But the city itself was an army base. Where do we place Imam Hasan al-Askari alayhi afdalu salatu wassalam? Right in the middle of the army base. Why? So he can be under constant surveillance. Whatever he does, wherever he goes, wherever he comes, we know about it. That's why Imam Hasan al-Askari tells his Shia, if you see me in the streets, don't even say hi to me. Don't come to me and greet me. Don't come to me and ask me a question, because that will be a problem causing for you and for myself. Walk in a different direction. Don't even come to me. Because I'm under constant surveillance. My family is under constant surveillance. Whatever I do, wherever people come to me, go out of my house, they all know it. Even women. There were spies in the house of Imam Hasan al-Askari. Why is this? Because they knew, the Abbasids, they knew that from this Imam Hasan al-Askari, there will be a son born that is Imam al-Mahdi, ajallah ta'ala farajahu al-sharif, and he is the muntaqim, he is the avenger. And what do? We have to stop this. So the Abbasids were changed. If the Turks, they don't like them, they changed them. As one of them said, Khalifatun fi qafasin, bayna wasifin wa bugha. Wasif was a general in the Turk army, and Bugha was another general. They decided, if they don't like a Khalifa, they kick him out. They remove him with another Khalifa. يقول ما قال له كما يقول الببغاء. They tell him, and he repeats whatever the command is. As one of them wanted to kill the Imam, and some of the Shia came to the Imam, they were very worried. They said, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, this person has the intention of killing you. The Imam said to them, he will not live more than 2 days. He will be killed. And this Shia, they said, how could this be? He's a Khalifa and there's no threat upon him. One day he was sitting in the court and he was talking with the Turks. The Turks didn't like one thing he said. They dragged him down from his throne. And we're talking about a Khalifa. Khalifa is a king. They dragged him down from his throne. They brought him down and his crown fell to the ground and he's shouting, I am the Khalifa, I am the Khalifa, how dare you do such a thing? They didn't care. No one cared for them. They dragged him outside of the castle, they hanged him up and they started throwing arrows at him and he's shouting, I am the Khalifa of you, I am the Khalifa of Muslimin. No one could say anything. And they killed him right there. Look. The next day, they appointed another Khalifa, his son, and he saw it. He couldn't say anything. The next Khalifa comes. If they don't agree with him, they take away his eyes. And they throw him in the streets for him to beg. So Bani Abbas came to this. What do we gain from this? Whoever is not on the right path, eventually they fall on their face. You saw Saddam Hussein, 35 years. And in his end, you can see why, if you go search it now, how he was arrested, how he was taken to court, and his last moments. Dhillah. Dhillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives those that are not on his path. If you want to be Kareem, you want to be treated the best, be on the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That you look what Allah wants, not what the people want. This is the problem we have today. That whenever a person wants to go, for example, to propose to a woman, we think of our traditions more than we think of what Allah wants. That my tradition, my culture says such a thing. Does Allah agree to that? No. Then why are you doing this? Why is it? Because my culture said that. هذا ما وجدنا عليه آباؤنا. This is what we found our ancestors doing. Even if that is going to cause the community to fall. This is going to cause the youth to lose their path. But because my culture said such a thing, because the people asking me to do such a thing, and for me, it's more important of what they want, what they like, than what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes, and what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you see that falling to the ground. So what does the Imam do? Imam is under constant surveillance. The Imam comes to Imamah, and the Imam died at the age of 28. Very short period of time the Imam Salamullah alayh had the time of Imamah. So the Imam at this short period of time, what does he do? The best thing is, I prepare the Shia for the time of occultation. We are from a religion, always remember this. One of the na'am and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the religion that we have. Whenever you see someone sitting down and thinking, what is the blessings Allah gave me? One of it, and the most important one of these blessings of the ni'mah of Allah has given you and me, is that of guidance, hidayah. And the Ahlul Bayt didn't leave us hanging. Okay, I did my part and that's it. No, he's thinking, how can I prepare them that tomorrow they don't see the Imam? We don't see the Imam today. If you have a problem today, you don't see the Imam. Do you see him? Can you go to him and sit down with him? No, because Allah now is the time of occultation. Allah willed it to be like that. Mata tarana wa narak. When is it that we see you and you see us? And we sit down with you and we talk to you. So this was the number one priority of the Imam. What do I do to prepare them? Number one, I appoint deputies. Wukala, Zakaria ibn Adam, for example. Whenever you have a question, go and ask Zakaria ibn Adam. Go ask Hussein ibn Ruh. Go ask such and such. Those are my deputies, the Imam said to them. Whenever you have a question, you have this opportunity of asking these deputies. Anything that comes to your mind. Now I have a question. I can't reach the Imam, salamullah alayh. And it's changing from Asr al-Hudur to Asr al-Ghaybah. That transition is very hard for some Shia, because they don't see the Imam. They might lose the grip of the religion and they might fall. So what do? You have deputies. Imam al-Hadi, alayhi afdalus salatu wassalam, he started this movement, and even the Imams before him, but Imam Hasan Askari had it more. Now whenever you have a question, go to my deputies, Zakaria ibn Adam, Ibrahim al-Naysaburi, Unaysaburi, Ayyub ibn Nuh, and he had them in different cities. You have them one in Qom, one in Naysabur, one in Tus, one in Kufa, one in Baghdad. So you go to them and you ask them that questions, or you see that what is the answer of my concerns. That was number one. The other one is that the Imam Salamullah alayh, and this is the one that comes to us, the Imam arsa nizam al-marji'iyya. What does that mean? The Imam brought down to us the concept of marji'iyya. Marji'iyya. Today you have marja' taqlid. And this is, before I say this, everyone has their own profession. Everyone is he knows about one part of the, profession. For example, if you go to a butcher, he knows about different cuts of meat more than the person who is working as a mechanic. You go to a person who knows about diamonds, he knows more about diamonds than a doctor. Everyone knows different. When you come to a jurisprudent, you come to a faqih, he knows about the religion more than anyone else. Because he has spent 10, 20, 30, 40 years of his life reciting, reading, examining the hadith of Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim. So whatever he says, this is after years of what? Studying the religion. So he doesn't just come and tell you this is how it is, out of thin air. Or you can ask every Jack and Julie of what religion is about. Nowadays, everyone is a marja, alhamdulillah. Everyone is a marja. But upon my understanding, my belief, this is what I think. Subhanallah. Is everyone marja today? Everyone knows of this religion? No, definitely not. What does the Imam do? It is a guideline the Imam puts there, and not everyone can be one. Not everyone can be one. If tomorrow I open a clinic and I say I'm a doctor, I have a PhD, 2 days later, maybe less, maybe more, they come and shut me down. Where is your qualification? What did you study? How can you be a doctor without studying anything? Same thing when it comes to jurisprudence. Not everyone can come and say something out of thin air. So what does the Imam say? Imam Hasan Al-Askari alayhi afdalu salati wassalam. فَأَمَّا مَنْ كَانَ مِنَ الْفُقَهَاءِ صَائِنًا لِنَفْسِهِ حَافِظًا لِدِينِهِ مُخَالِفًا عَلَى هَوَاهِ مُطِيعًا لِأَمْرِ مَوْلَاهِ فَلِلْعَوَامِ أَنْ يُقَلِّدُوهُ وذلك لا يكون إلا لبعض فقهاء الشيعة لا لكلهم. You understand? So there is a bunch of them. If they have these qualities, then they can be one of the fuqaha. Not everyone can be one of the fuqaha. And every community, listen to this, brothers and sisters, every community needs a leader. Every community needs someone to hold the torch and show you the way. Every community needs it. If a community loses this, they all fall one after the other. Because the community needs someone who is a person knowing of a religion. Not just every person can come and say, I'm part of it and I can be a leader without him knowing nothing of this. Especially for the youngsters. Now the youngsters, if you look at the life that we live in today, the fitan is more and more every day. As I said, he leaves the house what? Mu'min. In the end of time, and we are reaching that time. In the end of the time, he leaves the house mu'min, and he comes back, what? Kafir. How could that be? Because what? He lost the grip. He lost it. He doesn't know what to hang on to. He doesn't know. And he falls to the fitan that are now in the world. One after the other comes to you. Many fitan. One after the other comes and strikes you. One after the other. It becomes harder and harder and harder to the time of Imam al-Hujjah salamullah alayh. Ajallah ta'ala farajahu al-sharif. May Allah hasten his appearance. He comes and he says, now is the time. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر. How hard is this? Now, if a person doesn't have that qualities, he's not a marja'. He cannot be a leader of the community. How important is this? For example, you find Sayyid Ali Sistani, our dear marja', al-taqleed. When Daesh, ISIS, I'm talking about what's happening now in this time and age. When ISIS entered Iraq, if it wasn't for the fuqaha, for the maraji' al-taqleed, what do you think we were right now in? We live in a country that is run by Daesh. But with one fatwa, a group of people come, 100,000, 200,000, they form an army, Hajj al-Sha'bi, they fight Daesh. If you go to Iraq today, of every checkpoint you see, there are a lot of pictures of the youngsters. They gave their life for the haram of Imam al-Hussein to be safe, for the shrine of Amir al-Mu'mineen to be safe. Leader knows this. He knows now is the time to fight. We cannot just sit down at our house doing nothing. This is how important it is. It's not just about praying, well, I have a problem with my second and third rak'ah, I have a doubt, and this is where the leader comes in. No, Habibi, this is more than to this. I have a problem with my qunut and sujood. Well, I have to ask, I go to his website, I search it, okay, alhamdulillah, we found the answer. It's more than this. It's more than this. With one fatwa of a maraji' al-taqleed, hafadhahumullah, you find that Daesh was beaten, were kicked out. Mosul was taken in less than 24 hours. Hajj al-Sha'bi came and cleaned up the whole country of Iraq. Who was Hajj al-Sha'bi? A bunch of young men in their teenage years, 20s, 30s, some of them. If you go to the shrine of Imam Hussein, you can see the juthath coming every half an hour. But this is what the leader does. He sees what is the best thing for the people at this time. Like the Imam. Imam knows. Amir al-Mu'mineen knows now it's time to fight Muawiyah. Imam al-Hasan knows now it's a time to sign the peace treaty and expose Muawiyah. Imam al-Hussein knows now it's a time to do what? Thawrah. Start a revolution. Every one of them know the way. They know the role they have to play. And they're not alike. Imam al-Sajjad didn't come and say, okay, we start another revolution. We have another Karbala, we have another Lady Zainab, we have another killing, we have another Umar ibn... No. My father did this, but I have to do different. What do I have to do? Well, I have to come with different things. I have to bring big people back to the right path. Sahif al-Sajjadi, supplication, charter of rights. People, they have to know the rights of their mother and their father and the Imam of the time. They have to know this. So Imam al-Hasan al-Askari, that was the second thing the Imam did. One was the wakala. The second was what? Marja'iyya. And even the Marja'iyya, the jurisprudence, they come to the way the Imam behaved at his time with the wakala. So you don't see the Marja' al-Taqleed in your hometown in Wollongong or in Campbelltown. You have to go all the way to Najaf, all the way to Karbala, all the way to Mashhad, all the way to Qom. No, you don't have to do this. You have a deputy. You have on top of that, you have social media. You have this and that. You can get in contact and you can get your questions answered. That was the second. What was the third? There is a very important, and this applies to us again, very important arsenal that this can be used in every time and age, and that is the movement of Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. The movement of Imam al-Hussein. We don't understand how big, massive this movement is until we go to Ziyarah wa Abdullah al-Hussein, Ziyarat al-Arba'in. We don't understand it. Whatever happens around the world, if you find any of the youth, they're losing their grip. They're losing their faith. Take their hands, take them to the Ziyarah. That's it. What else do I have to do? That's it. He goes to the Ziyarah, he looks at the shrine of Imam Hussein, you speak with him 2 or 3 words. As Imam Rida salamullah alayhi wa salatu wa salam, Ali ibn Musa Rida said, عَلِّمُ النَّاسِ مَحَاسِنَ كَلَامِنَا يَتَّبِعُونَ. Teach them of our sayings, they will follow us. That's it. Ziyarat al-Arba'in, 10, 20, 25 million people, they walk to the shrine of Imam Hussein. Imam Hasan al-Askari, he pointed to that. Even the Imams before him. So when you find this hadith of Imam Hasan al-Askari, there is a very known hadith. Alamatul Mu'mini Khams. You all heard of this hadith, very famous hadith of Imam Hasan al-Askari. Of course, Imam Hasan al-Askari has different hadith. But this is the one we Shia, we always repeat every year when it comes to the time of Arba'in. Alamatul Mu'mini Khams. There are 5 signs of a mu'min. What are these, the 5 signs, Ya Sayyidi wa Mawlai? The Imam says 1, 1, 1, 1. He comes to each of them. You find these alamat are the alamat of a mu'min who's a Shia, who's a follower of Ahlul Bayt. Takhadtum bil Yameen, wearing the ring on the right hand. Why I can't wear it on my left? Because this is Sunnah. Sunnah is the way of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. So if you truly look at it, we are the Sunnah. If you look at it, we are the Sunnah because we follow the sayings of Ahlul Bayt. We follow the lifestyle of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim and the ways of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So taqadtum bil yamin. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wore the ring on his right hand. Why I can't wear it on my left? Well, this is it. Rasulullah did it like that. What else? Al-jahru bi bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Saying bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim loud and clear. But when you look at the other schools of thought, the other schools of Islam, you watch it on TV and on YouTube, you say Allahu Akbar, nothing, silence. Alhamdulillah, where did bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim go? He doesn't say it loud. But when it comes to the Shia, Allahu Akbar, what? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Al-jahr. Saying it loud. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As-salat 51, praying 51 rak'ah a day. Why I can't pray 55? This is the number we're given to us. 51 rak'ah. The nawafil and the mustahabbat. Do these two. The mustahabbat and the compulsory. All together, how many rak'ah? 51. 17 and 34, 51 rak'ah. The more you do mustahabbat, your salat al-wajib becomes greater. When you come to salat al-wajib, salat al-maghrib al-isha, dhuhr al-asr, and salat al-fajr, salat al-subuh, you don't have problem to get up and pray because you're doing the mustahabbat with it. And this is for your youngsters, brothers and sisters. You don't wake up for salat al-subuh because you were spending the night in a sahra, smoking argila, and it's fine. We don't say don't do that. But even when you have those gatherings, have one hadith saying about Ahlul Bayt. Before everyone leaves, let's say one hadith about Ahlul Bayt before all we go. We're playing the religious card. Yeah, why not? Everyone play the religious card. Say one hadith before we all go. After finishing the mu'assal, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qala Ali, Qala al-Hasan, Qala al-Hussein. This gathering becomes blessed. It's a blessed gathering. And we have these gatherings, alhamdulillah, all over. Not this gathering for it to be waste of time. Just, words here and words there, about politics and all that. But we don't say one hadith of Ahlul Bayt. One hadith. So, I don't wake up for Salat al-Subuh. The next day, wake up for Salat al-Layl and pray Salat al-Subuh with it. Read some Quran, one juz'. Punishing yourself. Why didn't I wake up for Salat al-Subuh? You teach yourself. You teach yourself. You discipline yourself. This nafs always needs that. If you little loose, it becomes like that horse. Have you seen a wild horse? You can watch it on YouTube or any other platforms. You see a wild horse runs. Even if there is a valley and he might, fall into it, it doesn't matter for it. He can't see. He doesn't care. That nafs, if you little loose, becomes like that wild horse. It doesn't have any lijam. No leash. You all been to horseback riding maybe? When you go to horseback riding, the first time you sit on the horse, they tell you, listen, this is how you turn it to the right, left. If you pull both of it, you stop the horse. If you don't know this, well, good luck. They teach you that. The nafs needs the same thing. Turn it right, turn it left, stop it. It's enough. Even if there is something halal for you that you can do, once in a while, stop yourself. Amir al-Mu'mineen, salamullah alayh, they brought him honey, and he placed his pinky into the honey to take one bite of the honey, and he stopped. He said, I don't want any. His nephew said to him, Sayyidi, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, is this haram? He said, no. But my nafs wanted this. I wanted to show it who is boss. Who is boss? Me. I don't want any honey, even though honey is halal. But when you always say yes to it, yes, what happens? It becomes like that child, spoiled child. You take your children to Willie's and you tell them, buy whatever you want. What happens? You have 2 or 3 trolleys full of junk food. But if you tell them, no, look, we're not going to buy everything we want, even that might be on sale. We might need Doritos or whatever. No. Why? Because you discipline them. Same thing with the nafs. You discipline it. That's why the Imam says, alamat ul mu'min. Not everyone can become a mu'min. There's guidelines to it. That was the third one. The fourth, the Imam said, what? The Imam said, ta'firul jabin. And we Shia do that. That we prostrate on the turba of Imam al-Hussein, salamullah alayhi. Preferably, of course. The best thing to prostrate on is the turba of Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. And the last one, and this is the one I was speaking about, ziyarat Arba'in al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. How can I prepare the Shia for this time of hardship? Remember Hussein. Remember his movement, his way. Patience, he is the peak of patience. Religion, he is the peak of it. Whatever you think, he is the number one of all this. Husaynun minni wa ana min Hussein. The reviver of this religion is Hussein. I lost the grip, my family lost the grip of this religion, unfortunately, because of the media, because the way of our life, our lifestyle. This happens, unfortunately. How can I bring them back? It's good to go overseas, to Disneyland or whatever. It's good. That's, entertainment. But once in a while, take your children to ziyarah. Who is this? Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. I remember a couple of years ago, we were in the college, in Imam Ali College, and we were hanging up some zina, adornments for the milad of one of the imams. Two individuals speaking out together, and they happened to be Lebanese. And one of the women was saying to the other, I'm going this year to Lebanon, and my top priority is I wanted to take them to one of the concerts of Fulana. I don't bring the name of that Fulana. I wanted them to know about this Fulana, one of very known musician. And subhanAllah, you see the mindset? I want them to know about this Fulana. Why don't we take them for a spiritual ziyarat? This is Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. This is Ali ibn Musa al-Rida. You might think this is not going to have any impact on them, but it will. Even if it's a child, a 5-year-old, when he sees you going into the ziyarah of Imam Hussein, the haram, and you enter it with that respect, you kiss the darih of Imam al-Hussein and the gates of Imam al-Hussein shrine, and you sit down and you recite the ziyarah, the dua, you pray 2 rak'at, he follows you. Even that has an impact on that child. So this is why Imam Hasan al-Askari, he said, another way for me to prepare my followers and the followers of Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim, again, bring them back to Hussein, because they might lose the grip of it. And this is what's happening today on this time and age, 21st century. We have this. Every day becomes harder and harder. And the other part is spending billions of dollars to do what? To do what? To bring our youth to the wrong path. Billions of dollars. Billions. I'm saying it with a B. Billions of dollars just to put in their mind the youth superhero is not Ali, it's Batman. Huh? Well, and it's not this guy, it's this guy. It's not that guy. You might think this is very basic things, but believe me, when the child is born and raised in this environment and he grows up not knowing the basics about Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim, what do you think he will end up? Just the basics. And those are important. Half an hour a day, sitting down with your family members, with your son, with your daughter, just telling them very basic information of Ahlul Bayt. Who is Ali, who is Hassan, who is Hussein, salamullah alayhim. We have centers around, alhamdulillah. We do have centers, but the centers, how much can they do? The centers, whatever they do, is not enough, because the other side is doing it full time and we're doing it on maybe once in a while in a blue moon. Half an hour lecture and that is it. Sayyid, we have to go, we have Sahara. This is what's happening today. That half an hour once a week is not enough. It needs to be on a regular basis. This is what the Imam salamullah alayhi did, Imam Hasan al-Askari. And he prepared the Shia. As you see it today, when he was martyred, salamullah alayhi, and his son came to pray on him. But any calamities, anything that happened to Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim, there is nothing compared to what happened to Imam al-Hussein. كل المصائب قد تهون. All the masa'ib, they come down, they bow down in front of the musibah of Imam al-Hussein salamullah alayhi. So what happened to Hussein? A person that gave everything he had on the day in Karbala, on the day of Ashura. He said, Ya Rab, khudh hatta tarda. Take as much as you want so I can revive this religion. bring back the people into the true religion of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. فَلَأَنْدُبَنَّكَ صَبَاحًا وَمَسَاءً. As the Imam said, Imam al-Hujjah عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام من زيارة الناحية المقدسة: فلا أندبنك صباحا ومساء ولا بكين عليك بدل الدموع دما حسرة عليك وتأسفا على ما دهاك وتلهفا حتى أموت بلوعة المصاب وغصة الاكتئاب. Many things happened on that day. I'll make it very short. A lot of calamities, a lot of masa'ib came down to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. But you know, one of the most heart-wrenching one that broke the heart of Imam al-Hussein was that farewell, you know, that wida'. The Imam did it many times. The hadith says he did it 2-3 times. He comes to them and he farewells, and he goes to the battlefield, he fights, and he comes again. The last time he came, the ladies were surrounding the Imam. His daughters were surrounding the Imam. And one of them was saying that to the Imam, Sayyidi wa Mawlai, take us back to Medina. Take us back to the city of our grandfather Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. The other woman was holding down to his abba and she was saying, don't go. If you go, who is there to protect us? Who is there to look after us? But there was one lady, she wasn't saying anything. She wasn't even there. And that was Lady Zainab. She was sitting in the tent and she didn't come out. And she knew this is the last time that she will see her brother Hussein alive. When Imam al-Hussein, was walking down to the battlefield on his horse and he was about to enter the battlefield, he heard this loud voice of his sister saying, Mahlan mahla ya ibn al-Zahra. Oh, son of Fatima al-Zahra, wait for a moment. Wait right there. She came running to her brother Hussein. As soon as she reached Imam al-Hussein, salamullah alayh, she said to him, oh brother, come down from your horse. He came down from his horse. Oh brother, come to me. The Imam came to her, a couple of steps he came to her, and a couple of steps she came to him, and she said to him, brother, can you open up your shirt? He opened up his shirt and he was silent. When he opened it up, Lady Zainab came to him and she kissed that chest of Hussein. After she finished, she looked at the direction of Medina and she said, oh mother, I have done what you asked me to do. After all this, Imam al-Hussein looks at her and she says to her, oh sister, what did you do with me? You broke my heart. What is it that you done? And what was that my mother asked you to do? She said to him, oh brother, when my mother was on her deathbed, she said to me that a day comes, and that is the day of Ashura. When you see your brother going to the battlefield for the last time, I ask you to do one thing, and that is, when you see Hussein going to the battlefield, I asked you to kiss his chest from me, because this is the chest that Shemr will sit on to decapitate him. When I came to you, I did this, Ya Hussein. I kissed your chest and I farewell, Ya Aba Abdullah, Ya Sayyidi wa Mawlai. Imam al-Hussein stood there crying, saying, how can you do this to me on this last moment? You remind me of my mother, Fatima al-Zahra, salamullah alayha. You remind me of my mother, Zahra, Sayyid Nisa al-Alameen. You have broken my heart. On top of all this, oh Zainab, she started to cry, jumping up and down. Just imagine, this is the last time she sees her brother Hussein. He comes to her and he places his hand on her chest. And he says to her, go and don't forget me in your Salat al-Layl. On your Salat that you wake up to pray tonight that I'm not alive, don't forget me in your dua. When Hussein went and he was killed, martyred on this day, the day of Ashura, she was sitting down on that night praying Salat al-Layl. Even on that time, she did not forget to pray صلاة الليل. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. Please raise your voice and your hands all together. It's a time of Salam of Abdullah al-Hussein. We are close to the time of the Salah. All together with one loud voice. Raise your hand. Assalamu ala al-Hussein wa ala Ali ibn al-Hussein wa ala وعلى أصحاب الحسين وعلى أخته العقيلة زينب وأخيه أبا الفضل العباس ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا حتى تسكنه يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشفي صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشفي صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. يا رب الحسين بحق الحسين اشفي صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. اللهم بحق فاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها والسر المستودع فيها اللهم اجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه يا رب العالمين. اللهم عجل فرجه سهل مخرجه اجعلنا من المستشهدين بين يديه يا إله الخلق أجمعين. هذا والحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. الفاتحة قبلها الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.